Hello, this is Thomas the Train, and I really don't know what I'm going to do today. Taking down the layouts. I don't know. Maybe I could do magic. What happens if I snap? Maybe that wasn't good? I don't know. Doesn't seem like anything's happened. I think something happened. Yeah, something happened. In that case, hello, and this is Thomas the Train here. Or I guess right now it's Henry the Train. I guess it's just become a tradition to where I start my videos. Henry at Henry's Tunnel. So, I like to say that this will be the last video before the beach. I will not be uploading until then. So then this layout might come down, it might not. Things will come out of it, things won't. Well, some things will, some things won't. And don't want to ramble too much, but this layout did take a long time to build. Starting, I think I started with the docks and went from there. And I'm going to say I kind of went crazy on the layouts. Not really crazy, but definitely different than what I'm used to. And I'll say one thing, I've actually put more than one railway in this, and no, I didn't put the narrow gauge or anything. I'll show you. So, if we come up, we're at Henry's Tunnel with Henry and Madge, who currently isn't carrying anything. On top, I've accidentally moved them, but we have Iron Airy, Iron Bert, Arthur, and Sydney, and the Scrap Monster being pulled by the Iron Twins. Immediately, if we come down the line, we come to a T-switch, which I actually had custom made. Nothing special, just a T-switch. I also have some, if I just real quick zoom in, some really, really long tracks. So we come and we already are at the clay pits. Just a different design for the clay pits. It's actually slanted, because it was this absolutely massive area. So sorry for any background noise. I really can't help it again. And I had to slant it a bit so it actually fit. So we have just a bunch of characters here, and it looks a lot different. So let's go in. If we come along, we come to Top Hat's car, which is, I don't know, it does actually move around in here when you move them, I think. Yep. Mavis, we have Gators and boxcars, Marion, Timothy, Scott's in the background, just a generic, conductor workman. The fossil that came with the fossil run set. So how do you actually get up here is much, much different. What you do is you come along here to this piece. I actually have another one in the quarry because of its odd angle. These are really nice to use. They are if I just take it out real quick, they flex to help with, spacing and awkward turns. So if you have a straight piece and you need a tiny tilt, you can just, do that. And it'd be slanted a tiny bit. That's what I had to do here because it was such an odd angle. So if you come this way, the line that Marion's not on, you go under that. It's the first time I've actually made a layout where I've used all four of those things, and I actually liked it. You come around and go up. Ooh, high hand. And there's also two more tracks. This track wraps around here. Actually, technically three more tracks. This is one track. Two tracks, we have the coal loader, or ballast loader, I guess, and Silver Percy. Again, I think I'm just going to put him around. It's a weird shot. Let me just pull him out. There we go. Just see, Scotsman through there is really neat. Sorry, I'm rambling. And the other line comes down to where Marion is at the Boulder Mountain. Do plan on getting the Boulder Mountain. Oh, and Marion's about to fall off the rails. Okay. Where would I go from here? Okay, let's go down this track right here and go to... Let's go to Scotsman, actually, because there's something I do want to show. So we come back to Scotsman, that just simply wraps around. There's actually a bump here. Sorry if I'm speaking a bit fast. I like to do it. You come around, oh, here's the, like the fossil boulder thing goes in this part right here. There's the compartment over here, it flips a switch and it rolls down. So, Scotsman's line comes around this V-switch to the top of Henry's tunnel. Which, I'm going to get to this track in a little bit. It's kind of long and ends up kind of close. All I'll say for now is that this track right here eventually makes its way to Sydney. If Ari and Bert were to go straight and not go on any switches, which there are some along the way, they would make it to Sydney. Sounds crazy, but it's true. So we come to Arthur, we come down to Hero, you go around to like the station where Hugo is, still here. Got a repair going on with the Cherry Picker and Spotlight lorry. It is the off-brand helicopter. Sorry if it won't focus. We have Steven on the bumpy track. We come to the docks. I really like how this docks turned out. So how it is, if you come back here, this line wraps around across the drawbridge. This would usually make sound, this would spin around with a light, and this would push down and make sound. That comes into this, which goes into the ocean where Samson is. Unfortunate spill there. I'll go around to the other side. Okay. So if you come under, and now there's like track, this like crossover track that's been used a lot. This runs under back to Steven. And this runs around to the work shed where Connor and Caitlin are talking. We have Cranky who can actually service this track right here, but also come up here and service engines here. And what you could do is have this yellow track, younger me drew on it with I think a yellow like highlighter or marker or whatnot. You can put your cargo in there and it dropped down into another car. We've got a bunch of not Thomas Wooden Railway cargo. This, I think, is actually not even Thomas related, but I like it. It's just like a big stack of pipes. This is from Trackmaster, Take and Play, I believe. Porter's actually in the smaller yards, with a workman talking to him, some cars. We also have a crane here, Bulstrode, and Captain's Shed. I put a piece of track here so we can kind of make a smooth transition onto the carpet. I don't know why I did it. I'm thinking of removing it. Yeah, I'm gonna remove it. Oh. Screw it forwards and I've got no idea where Captain is. Wait, I think I know. Yep, found him. How this works is actually a piece that goes here that I can't find at the moment. This spins like a one of those like wind thingies. And this is a little crane that you spin this and it goes down. Mine's a bit broken. Doesn't work very good. You can just pull it out, yeah. So Oliver's actually up here, and this comes from Ari and Bert's line. But I'll wait for that. Because the viaduct's along that way. And you know what? No, we'll just do that. So, we come up to Oliver. Okay, we're going to come up onto the viaducts with the bridge and stuff. With an immensely long goods train with Donald and Douglas double-heading it. We got ballast cars, walled cars, flatbed, another walled car. Then we come down on these two red rear bridges around to this part here. And it looks normal until you realize those are supports. Oop, just knocked something. Didn't knock it over, just hit it. We come down to a bunch of Jenga blocks, which I made to use this really, really cool area. So you come down on a slant, I'll use Billy here as an example. It actually rolls if you push them on. This can go straight right up to the bridge where Philip is. Go this way, to this switch, which will eventually lead you back to Ari and Bert. I'll take you along, so top and hats, the trophy, debris, and Dustin. I think might be a reference to Dustin comes in first. The book, because it was never in. Hugo, that wraps around there, up one of that, switch to Ari and Bert. These two tracks just wrap straight into the workshop, one with a mirror and bridge on it. This track wraps onto Edward, which wraps down. Go on Phillips line, keep going. Stafford, the swing bridge is back. Come to Gordon's Hill, where Vinny is. There's a house down there nestled up against the hill. And we're back to Sydney, where I said we would end up. And that track leads to Ashima, Harold, Birdie. There's Percy. Back at the station. Wrap around to Reginald and James. Reginald's kind of like my made-up character. And I guess maybe James arguing about why he should be the only red engine on Sodor. And why he's the fastest. Even though Reginald is faster. In my mind, Reginald would definitely be faster than James. Okay, now back to the line where Dustin was. We come to the clock tower, a really nice piece. You turn this knob and it turns, I think, the minute hand. This, when you turn it, turns the hour hand. Comes out of an elevator tunnel. Don't use this a lot, but we have Thomas. This isn't really meant for elevator, but I do it anyways. Or I did it anyways. We have Thomas in here. This is what I hit, actually. We come down to the castle crane here, where we have Frida. We come through, we have Skiff. Sir Topham Hatt, I guess I could just turn him. And Butch. That was run back to Frida. Goes under. And now on the other side, I don't know if you can see him. Spam Can. Spam Can's line wraps around back to where Harvey is. Under the swing bridge, that comes to Whiff. Whiff's line goes under this part here. Goes around under these two walls here, which will prevent the engine. Here's Spencer, in this case, from flying off the track. On this nice little mountain that I have. This came from the Dustin Comes in first set. Actually, no, not both of these pieces did, but this piece came from that log set, like the river log set thing, where like they fall down and make a track at the bottom. Not a big fan of it, but I am a fan of this. Love these double tall hills. Come down, can't flip this up and knock a tree over. What's this? Get to it later. Come to a switcher Percy's at the station, which wraps right back around over there. No. Let's go back to Henry's Tunnel. And I'll take you over Gordon's Hill. So Gordon's Hill can lead straight down, past Toby's Windmill. Oh, and Spam Can's line wraps straight, I'll zoom in for this, to Percy and Birdie. Birdie's at the station. It wraps around to this switch with Fergus, and it goes under this bridge to Whiff and this big four-way switch. The other track just comes back to Whiff, like the other track. This track right there did. Sorry. And if I sound like I might not be, sound sick, I'm not sick. It's just allergies. Wanted to point that out. So Fergus, and we come down here. Gordon's Hill heads straight down under this bridge. I actually don't know the brand of this bridge. All I know is you can actually put a track under it. Molly's a bit finicky. Her funnel gets stuck on it. And this bridge over here. Sorry about that. I accidentally dropped my phone. That wraps under across this bumpy track up to where Spencer is. Now, there's this track right here, which goes along under here back to Reginald and James. Trying to make sure I haven't missed anything. Which I don't think I have. Except one place. Oh wait. It just dawned on me there are two Thomases on this layout. The Thomas over there and the Thomas right here. Road vehicle time real quick. Road, air, and everything vehicle. Bulstrode. Helicopter. Lorries. Top Hat's car. Madge. Harold. Birdie. Elizabeth. Caroline is under Fergus's bridge. I'll zoom in. There you go. Butch is over there by Skiff. That is all the road vehicles. Final sweep of road vehicles. Oh, Winston's over there. I probably mentioned that and forgot. Oh well. Anyways. Now that everything's done, except for one area, we'll find out what Thomas's line is. You might think, oh, it's a runaway siding, or, oh, hey, maybe it's Hero's hideout. But if it was Hero's hideout, I would have put Hero. So what are these? Well, if we take the buffers, they're transported. But where? At this point, it might be obvious. They're transported to the Magic Railroad. This is kind of like the linking place. So this buffer is Sodor. This buffer on the far side is to Shining Time. This buffer is to Muffle Mountain. And this buffer is the other railway. Or the mainland. A place where diesels are. Nope. Just kick the cars in the dockyards. I actually built this way, way up. I'll move back, I guess. Where I built this is actually on the top of my dresser. Jeez, lighting's terrible. Sorry about that. So if later we go here, I haven't built anything else. I think I plan on doing a narrow gauge. I actually made a layout right before. Let me give some trivia or just facts. So before I started on the narrow gauge layouts, I guess we'll just come back to this Thomas right here. Before I started on the narrow gauge layouts, I actually made a standard gauge and narrow gauge layout. Also, real quick, if this looks like there's less room, there's not. Recently, when I did a smaller layout, kind of big though, I actually cleaned my room and decided with some help, I was able to pull the carpet out some, so I have more room to build. That does limit a few things, like opening the door all the way. But it's fine, because there's one part, there's actually a bump. Because right here was a finicky area to do because of a bump in my floor. And the door will scratch it and everything. Anyways, back to talking about the narrow gauge layout. So before that, I made one with standard gauge all through here, but then narrow gauge right in this area where carpet once was. But now it's just hardwood floor. And I really liked it. I actually never finished this part. And everyone, I love the narrow gauge. It had the work shed and two extra sidings, a track that wrapped around, and the incline was right here. That actually went off the carpet because it just wouldn't fit usually. Then I built a narrow gauge only layout. It was only narrow gauge. And decided, I like this. But then, if you remember back to the work in progress layout, I talked about finding a piece, and that made me think I want to build a new layout. The yellow layout definitely had some differences. I think I'll talk about them right now, to the best that I can remember. Backcountry was pretty much the same. The incline was pretty much in the same spot. The sheds were facing that way and not that way, though. It was a track that wrapped around the sheds. The mountain was still there and everything. But the track that went, straight was there, I think. But, there was a track that wrapped around. The fixed place and stuff, that wasn't there. The quarry wasn't in there. It was only the incline. And I found out how to make the piece, and I decided, I think I'm going to build a whole new layout. So I started tearing up the layouts, and then build a whole new layout. And I'm very, very happy with how this one turned out, especially with the use of the Magic Railroad. That was nice. I was contemplating on making that a runaway siding, Hero's hideout, or the magic buffers. And for the first time, I did put the magic buffers. Maybe someday I'll actually implement a bigger Magic Railroad. Maybe I'll put a narrow gauge layout somewhere. Possibly on my desk. So I can use all the floor. I might. And just to say, I would probably build the narrow gauge layout first, so I could get the destinations I want in there, and then, well, yeah, you know. So, I'm definitely planning on getting more things. I found the dumping depot, and I may get it. Still gonna get Boulders Mountain, but I've just been kind of scrolling through, making the list of things I want. So apart from that, my constant rambling, sorry about that, and background noise. Don't mean to be rude by saying it, just like, sorry for my rambling. So again, this is going to be the last video I make before going to the beach. So tomorrow, this layout will be probably in shambles of me taking what I want to take and getting it up, building the layout, then packing it up and driving on the, I'll say this, the ever-longing 5-hour trip. It gets annoying fast. The first hour is fine. The second hour is meh. Everything else until you get there is, when are we gonna get there? Are we there yet? And I do, over the summer, plan on learning editing. I do plan on doing editing, at least hopefully for a part of the second series or the third series. Which, yes, I'm not just doing one series, I'm doing multiple. And I've already got ideas for titles for the second series, actually. And I guess it won't hurt if I give away one of the titles. It's really the only one I've actually came up with. And I think it could be good. So it actually involves a particular yellow engine. No, it's not Philip, it's Molly. And I'm going to call it Molly the Record Breaker, where she learns about world records and decides she wants to break one. Basic plot. Apart from that, I haven't really thought of any other titles for it. Season 2. I definitely plan on getting more characters, such as Annie and Clarabelle, Bill and Ben, because I'm surprised I don't know Annie and Clarabelle yet. Because they're Thomas's coaches. I also plan on getting more stations. At the current time, I only have 2. I have those like NAFTA signal box things, but I don't count those as stations. I'm also trying to make sure in this that I don't miss anything, which I don't believe I have. And so I guess this has just been Thomas the Train on a layout video. The last one before a beach layout. Maybe some quick little short stories like I did back in September of last year. But I definitely want to do just a quick little voiced one. I'm not expecting that layout to be more than like 5-10 minutes long if I ramble on. Oh, sorry for the lighting. Sunlight can get a bit annoying. Sorry for my rambling again. I just like to talk. And you can't blame me. Who else doesn't like to talk? And again, I do plan on learning editing to make the best content for you. High hand again. I definitely plan on doing reviews. I'm not just going to be a story person. Story and layout person. I want to do reviews. I've actually got a bunch of sets currently. The twist and turn battery operated sets. The best thing from the first set, the Fossil Run set. I've got destinations such as the clock tower, the castle crane, Toby's windmill, and a bunch of other things. So, sorry if this video is a bit long. It's getting on the top of one of the longest videos I've ever made. Which I'm happy. Layout videos are really fun to make. Let alone the layout. I think the layout is much more fun to make than the layout itself. No, the layout's more fun to make than the video because you can just do like all different form of ideas. I was definitely skeptical on the Jenga block thing, going under there, the elevator bridge, that area. I was definitely skeptical. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. Sometimes I was just like, I'm going to nuke it, which is just tearing the whole thing down and rebuilding. But I didn't. And maybe one day, after I get back on the beach, I'll do a video of making the layouts. Maybe. It's hard to do things with only one hand. I don't have like something to hold my phone while I film, so I have to use one hand. And then, even though you may have noticed in sorry, I'll end the video soon, maybe around the 30-minute mark, but probably less. I'll talk about it real quick. In Molly and Frank's bad crash back in September, you realize that both of my hands are present, and that was because one that was being filmed on my GoPro, which I don't film on at the current moment. I do plan on filming that on that more though, because it's better quality than a phone, because it doesn't like need to focus. Phones like need to focus for like faces, which it does focus on like Thomas faces, but it's unreliable. Like in the small layout video, like the other layout video I made before this, it refused to focus. It would focus at points and then not focus. So, apart from that, I guess I went also with the GoPro thing. I was actually had it in like a little stand, the bigger base, so it wouldn't just fall over with a tiny little tap. I'll come back and give you an overview of the layouts. Lean back up against my wall and just kind of give you a nice overview of everything that I built in this Thomas Wooden Rary layouts. So I guess we can calm down and say a simple goodbye. This has been Thomas the Train with a layout video, which is the last one before I go to the beach. This has been Thomas the Train, and goodbye. Bye. 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 Sorry about that. I don't know what came over me. I'm really sorry. Anyways, this has been Thomas the Train, signing off. Bye.